This week's episode of Trek Geeks is brought to you by Fansets, the place for amazing pin collectibles. They have over 150 officially licensed Star Trek pins to choose from, with new pins coming out every month. See all the pins and collectibles they have to offer at fansets.com, and stay tuned for this week's special Trek Geeks discount code. Fansets. We are Star Trek.
Hi, this is Michele Specht. I play Dr. Elise McKenna on Star Trek Continues. Oh my God, I'm totally fangirling right now because I just met Dan Davidson and Bill Smith of the Trek Geeks podcast. Oh my gosh, they are amazing.
From a padded room somewhere in the basement of Podfleet Command headquarters, it's the biggest little show this side of the Alpha Quadrant, the flagship of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Trek Geeks. We are so excited you're here. This is episode number 168, and we're just going to have a great time tonight. You'll understand why we're broadcasting from a padded room very shortly. And, of course, by we, I do mean my co-host and I. He himself is an escaped mental patient. He's been on the run now for approximately 40 years. And if they ever find him, I'm in deep trouble for harboring a fugitive. He is the on the run and at risk Dan Davidson. And Dan, welcome aboard, buddy. I hope you're ready for some all-out craziness tonight.
I'm ready for craziness. My arms are stuck in this funny jacket that a friend gave me, and it's white with big buckles on it. I can't get out of it. Can you help me with that?
No.
No. Yeah, it's going to be a little crazy, a little cray-cray. But it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. It's going to be good stuff.
It's going to be fantastic. We're going to, once again, touch the bottom of an episode called Say Something Nice, in which we're going to take a whole bunch of really not-so-great Star Trek episodes and find the goodness in them. You know, we're all about loving Star Trek, so we're going to find something to love in probably 15 different episodes, and joining us as a special guest geek for the full hour is a dear friend.
She is a very dear friend. We had her on as our very first guest of Trek Geeks, and I got a little surprise to throw at you when we bring her on the show in a little while in regards to that. But yeah, we had her on as our first guest of Trek Geeks. We were nervous. We weren't sure what to do when we're talking to a real live other person. We had a great time. Everybody loves the role of Dr. Elise McKenna from Star Trek Continues. It is the wonderful Michele Specht. She's going to be joining us again, and I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of crazy. She's kind of fun, a little hyper, a little fun, hyper. You know, I'm throwing my little Stewie in there, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. But
no, not at all.
Not at all. It's something that we've been looking forward to doing for a long time. Everybody's favorite Star Trek, or wait a minute, it's the other way around. Everybody's least favorite Star Trek is somebody's favorite Star Trek. So I'm sure we're going to find things nice to say about these episodes. 5 each, possible 15 different ones. I don't think when we did it last time. No, actually we did. We had 1 or 2 overlaps, but it'll be interesting to see what we have this time.
I'm excited for this. This is always a fun topic. I actually got some feedback recently that people really enjoy this, so we'll probably look to do it a couple more times in 2019 since we're kind of in between anniversary seasons with Voyager 25 happening next year. So I have a feeling that Say Something Nice is going to become a very popular thing. Dan, you know what else is popular?
What the fact that Morehouse isn't on this one and Michelle is? Oh, wow!
Why do you have to be mean to our past guest?
Because I love that guy.
Jim has never been anything but nice to you.
Fantastic guy.
I hope he fires the phasers at you, you jerk. But you know what else is actually nice is the fact that people may want to get in touch with us from time to time and send us episodes that they want to say something nice about. How might they accomplish that goal?
It is very, very easy to do so, and we'd like to hear those episodes from everyone. Just head right on over to trekgeeks.com/contact to find a variety of ways to get in touch with either Bill or myself. You can leave us a voicemail, you can Skype chat us, you can fill out the contact form and type us out a personalized message, or you can click on that big giant blue button on the right-hand side of the website and leave us a message with your very own mellifluous voice using SpeakPipe. And hey, don't forget, the place to be on Facebook these days is the Trek Geeks official Facebook group, Camp Kittimer. Bring your Trek talk, your Trek pics, and your Trek love over to the site and join over 1,300 other friends to talk all things Trek. Plus, chances are if Trek Geeks has announcements to share, hint, hint, it's going to be announced there first. So don't miss your chance to be one of the first people to find out what's coming up on the Trek Geeks podcast network. To join the group, just head right on over to facebook.com/groups/Camp Kittimer and be ready to be part of a truly wonderful social experience. And we always want to give our thanks to our wonderful admins, Heather, Jackie, and Dan. They do an amazing job, and we can't do it without them. But please, Bill, it's very important that I pass this along, so please don't interrupt me like you usually do.
I'm sorry, what?
See, that's what I mean. Any comments?
What'd you say?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Any comments?
So about that.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Any messages or comments that you leave us in any of these places may be used in a future episode, Bill.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, whatever.
So speaking of announcements we made in Camp Kittimer recently, we made one over the weekend that we're truly excited about. Premiering this fall on the Trek Geeks Podcast Network is a brand new live podcast dedicated to the yet as unnamed Picard series called JLP Live, to be hosted by our friend and now fellow Trek Geeks podcaster, Barry DeFord. Which we're super excited about. This podcast is going to be live on Facebook and YouTube, most likely, with an audio-only version dropping the following day. And we are so excited to have Barry as a part of the family officially. Dan, you may not know this, but he could be getting ready to take your seat. So what
are you talking about? I didn't get this memo. What's going on? No, that's
what happens when you miss important staff meetings.
No, we are so thrilled about this. We've been talking about it for a little while now. Barry's been a good friend of ours for a long time, and we're very excited to welcome him to the network. It is going to be great. It's going to be something we've never done before. This idea of a live action podcast is pretty cool, and we got the right guy steering that ship. That's for sure.
Yeah, we absolutely do, because neither of us could do that. I mean, plus the best part, Barry is still going to host Politics on the Tricorder Transmissions Network. Mm-hmm. So if you enjoy that podcast, and we hope you do, because it's fantastic, he's still going to be doing that. So Politics is going nowhere, I assure you.
I got a question.
Okay.
What happens if Politics wants to do a crossover episode with JLP Live? Now I got you thinking.
You're fired.
You know, Bill, if memory serves, we were talking last week and you had just placed an order at Fansets for some awesome new pins to add to your collection. We've both been collecting these things for a few years now. And one of the things that's so great about Fansets is that they have new Star Trek pins every single month.
You know, in fact, those pins were delivered to my hot little hands today.
Wow.
I literally just placed that order late last week. So, I mean, they got that right out to me. I have it, and I'm so excited because I just picked up the brand new Disco USS Enterprise, which literally was just released a few days ago. You know, and then I decided to add some other pins from their archive, which I've been meaning to get for a while and just hadn't had, like the Borg drone and Nomad, and of course a creature that reminds me a whole lot of you, the Magato.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Although I don't know why, because, you know, the Magato has hair. So additionally, we're also very excited that Fanset's next pin release for this month will be the second pin in the TOS Delta collection. It's the tricorder, and you're going to be able to get that at both fansets.com and at trekgeeks.com/pins.
Awesome news. We can't wait until this comes out. And as this episode drops, it's only going to be a few days from now. So also, as a special bonus for Trek Geeks listeners, if you want to receive 15% off your entire order at fansets.com this week, even if you order non-Star Trek stuff, simply enter the code word family at checkout. FAMILY, all capitals, no spaces. And if you want to know what that code refers to, well, you're just going to have to listen to this week's Discovering Trek. This code is going to be available until midnight on Sunday, February 17th, 2019, so don't delay.
Fansets is pinpoint accuracy, and we thank our friends at Fansets for sponsoring this week's episode.
Bill, I got to tell you something that you may not know about today's special guest.
What's that?
I was looking through some memories today on Facebook, and it was 4 years ago today that we welcomed this person on our show as the very first guest of Trek Geeks.
Wow.
We were so nervous. It was the first time we had talked to this person through email, and it was an amazing conversation. We fell in love with this person immediately. She has been a great friend of ours for so long. We think the world of her. We are so excited to welcome back this person to Trek Geeks to talk about nice things because she is so nice. She played Dr. Elise McKenna on Star Trek Continues. She is our great friend. We love her to death. Michele Specht, welcome back to Trek Geeks. It has been 4 long years, my dear.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. I can't believe it's been 4 years.
Unreal.
I know.
I was just thinking hashtag McKenna lives, and she lives here on Trek Geeks.
It's true. Forever and ever.
That's such a downer now.
No, because Dan, forgive yourself.
Thank you.
That was a really good laugh line, don't you think?
Thank you. I've been waiting. I've been saving that up all day.
Forever. I'm trapped in the pattern, guys. I'm waiting on you to pull me back.
Oh, you were so screwed.
I can't believe that was 4 years ago. Holy crap. And our friendship and, tomfoolery has just grown exponentially. It's lovely.
Oh, it's amazing because it's one of the, doing this show has been great. We've met so many people, but we've taken from it so many great and wonderful and dear friends that we'll have for the rest of our life, like you. Yay. And it's made the experience, worth it 10 times over. So we are so glad you're back, and we're going to talk about not just nice things, but nice things out of things that really kind of suck.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. It's kind of like life,
It's kind of like every week when we sit down on the podcast, Bill.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have say something nice, and that's what we're going to do today.
Yes.
So you thought I was going to quote the facts of life.
I thought you were. I did.
Didn't you?
I was like, wow, really? He's going there?
Playing in my head.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, damn it.
We specialize in earworms here on Trek Geeks. That's what we do. So we'll level set everybody. We did one of these episodes, a little over a year ago with our friend Jim Morehouse, and we decided to take episodes that maybe people don't like or maybe don't like as much and try to find some goodness in them, because we love Star Trek, because even bad Star Trek is worth watching, and there's really no such thing as bad Star Trek, and that's kind of how this episode was born. So we've each got a list of some episodes, and we're going to name them off and then explain why we think there's something to really appreciate about it, and then we'll talk about them for a little bit. And that's kind of how Say Something Nice goes. It's interesting. I was having a conversation this week with somebody, and he said to me, I really love those Say Something Nice episodes. You guys ever going to do another one? And I said, as a matter of fact, we are.
Yay, with me!
And he heard who the guest was, and I thought he was going to lose his mind.
Oh, you know what? Considering it's me, that would be appropriate because I might be verifiable, kiddos. I just might be verifiable.
It's so cute that you say might be.
I've got the papers and the medication to prove it.
So we're kind of going to go in round robin in fashion. Okay. And Michele, as our very special guest, will let you go first.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll go to Dan and then to me. So we'll let you start. You can name the episode and why you dislike it, and then you can say something nice about it.
Okay, great. Okay. So, I had to trove through my memories, and you guys know, or maybe I've shared this with you, maybe not. I grew up on TNG. I love it. It is my favorite.
Yes.
But there were some pretty wonderful stinkers. And for some reason, I don't know why I realized this while kind of trying to think through what I wanted to pick for this podcast. Dr. Crusher, poor Bev. she had the crappiest like love episodes. Like whenever they were focused around her, they just bloody stank. I'm sorry, they did.
They did.
My number one is going to be season 7, episode 14, Sub Rosa. Yeah,
Bill, you're not going to be able to hold a candle to that one.
Oh.
Yes, nice boys, nice. Oh, keep them coming. I'm just marinating in this crap. Okay,
Light the candle.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only. I mean, for God's sake, the poor woman had to deal with an 800-year-old Scottish sex succubus ghost who like feeds on her family and turns their eyes green for some bizarre reason. I don't know. But like it's so cringeworthy. I mean, from the first time Beverly has that dream while she's still on the Enterprise with that, you know, she lights the candle and then like the blanket slides down and then like her nightie starts sliding down and no one's there. It's so uncomfortable and it's so awful. And I feel so bad for her. And I just, even as a very, very young person, I was watching that going, oh God, what are they making her do? It's horrible. I'm sorry. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It is. It really is. In fact, I think we've got a new hashtag out of this, and it is hashtag 800-year-old Scottish succubus ghost.
Yeah.
Longest hashtag ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the nice element in this episode that you can appreciate?
Okay. It's actually, well, the worst moment actually is kind of the best because it is the worst situation, the worst such situation I think I've ever seen that they could have put her in. And she, you know, that girl, she just did her best. Bev just did her best. She tried to pull it out. So that, when Beverly is in her Nana's house and she has her like sexual ghost overtaking orgasm seizure, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but that is the best one-person ghost ravishing performance ever on screen. Well done,
Oh
Bev.
my God, I didn't bring tissues.
She took a horrible situation and said, "All right, you want okay, great. I'm gonna have orgasms via 800-year-old ghost. Let's go for it. Do it. Roll it. Back to 1. I'll do it again, boys. How many times you need it?" So
we're done. That's it.
There you go.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Detroit. Good night, Dan. Do you have anything you want to add to that particular nicety?
Nope. We've talked about Sub Rosa many times on this show and how bad it is, but I have. Oh, yeah. No, Bill's not a big fan. Yep.
It's all good because everybody's perspective is different, right?
So right. Absolutely.
You actually bring up an aspect of this that we've never talked about. So,
yep.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, in a lot of people, it's not one of their favorites, but I have never heard such enthusiasm for parts of that episode as I just did. I'm going to go watch it now, and it's probably going to become one of my favorite episodes just because of you, Michele.
I mean, bless her heart. You know, she was reading that during the table reading and going, just like, oh, God. Oh, God. All right. So, yes, that's my first go round. Who's next?
I have to say that, Gates really does a great job of being believable in somebody who is completely overtaken and smitten by this candle ghost.
Yes.
It's not a great episode, but you're right. She sells it. And
she does.
You believe that Beverly really is taken over by this presence. So I think that's a great pick.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Dan, you are next up in this round. So what do you got for us?
I'm going to go with, I don't know, this. I found it was more difficult this time around to find ones, but I think I found a few. So I'm going to go first with Enterprise, actually. And I'm going to go with season 1, episode 5, a little number called Unexpected.
Oh.
Yes.
See, I'm not usually good with the titles. Tell me what happened so I can remember this one.
You're going to love this because it kind of ties together a little bit with what we were just talking about if you really want to go down that road. But Enterprise was, brand new, still trying to get its feet wet, still trying to stand on its own in these first few episodes of season 1. But I got to tell you, Michele, this episode was ridiculous. Trip got pregnant in this episode.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Oh, yes!
She remembered.
Yes!
And he got
pregnant by sticking his hand in some sand.
There you go. And he gets a nipple on his wrist.
Yes!
Just kill me now. Just kill me now. It was just not a good episode. It's one of those uncomfortable, squirmy episodes that you were just talking about when you watch Sub Rosa. It's just not something that I've ever really enjoyed watching. I just didn't like it. But I got to say, the one thing that I like, and I'm going to say something nice about it, is the whole stereotype of mood swings of our lovely ladies when they are expecting and with child. I got to tell you, Connor hit it out of the park with the mood swings and the appetite change and being mean and yelling. I thought he was hilarious during those scenes. That's what I have to say something nice about on it, because that's all I got for it.
We get yet another hashtag out of this pick. Hashtag nipple wrist.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good one, Bill.
That's going to be your name for the rest of the episode, Dan.
Thank you. Okay, I can go with that.
Oh, or maybe not. That episode is not great. You're not wrong.
Thank you.
I do think you managed to find the chicken salad in the vat of chicken stuff.
Okay.
Where you're gonna go with that?
Yeah. If you were able to take those lemons and make some really tasty lemonade, well done, sir.
One other thing I will add to that, wasn't this the first time that we saw a holodeck on Enterprise? If I remember correctly, it may have been.
It was.
That's nice.
Because it was so early on.
Yes.
This race had the technology, and Trip was like, what's this? Even though we'd seen it for years.
Exactly.
Across 3 other series. So
good. All right. Good.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to go with my first pick, and I'm going to go all the way back to the original series for this. In the season 2 episode Cat's Paw.
Oh,
love Cat's Paw.
No, I'm not saying I don't love it, but let's be honest, okay? This is a campy Halloween episode in the future where there probably aren't things like Halloween. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we would. I would. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I get it. They were trying to appeal to the masses. It's not a great concept. However, I think that this is an episode people love to hate, but it is such a product of its time, and I think it's really fun. It takes all the Halloween tropes that there are. I mean, it takes them off the shelf and it applies them to Star Trek. But the thing that really shines in this episode for me is the cinematography. It is just so on point. The lighting is truly fantastic in this episode, and the remastered version is even better to watch. I actually watched the 2 recently, original and remastered, and I love the remastered one even more. So technically, this episode is probably one of the better ones produced for Star Trek, and I really appreciate that particular aspect of it. Michelle, what say you?
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that now because of what you said. Because I couldn't get off the tropey tropes.
Tropey tropes.
And this is the one, though. I think this has one of my favorite pictures of Spock, though, when he's petting the black cat, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Is that that?
Is that or no? That's the one. That's yes.
Gary 7.
Never mind.
That's Gary 7. Yeah, Simon Earth.
Yep, it is Gary 7. Never mind. So I've got nothing to add.
That's okay too. Dan, what do you think?
I love Cat's Paw. I love the Captain Gerd, that whole thing. I think that's hysterical. When they're in the dungeon and Kirk is trying to look like the skeleton next to him with the clothes. I just love it. And if I remember correctly, I believe that Jim Morehouse picked this on Say Something Nice Part 1, that he couldn't stand the real look of the pipe cleaner aliens as when they showed themselves at the end of the episode, which I've always loved. Right. Yeah, you can actually see the strings of the little puppets that they're doing. I love that. But
that's right.
It's a great episode, and I'm glad they were able to find something nice about it, Bill, because it's one of the ones that I enjoy watching all the time. Korob and Sylvia.
Those pipe cleaner aliens get me every time. It does take me out of it a little bit, but it's so gorgeous lighting wise. I mean, what can you do? So
I like the little noise that they make.
What was that noise? That's pretty good. So
I want that to be my new ringtone.
We know somebody who could make that happen.
Yeah.
So that's round one, and that's how it's going to go. Michelle, we're at round two, which means we're at your next pick. So regale us with something terrible.
Oh, good. I have another bad Beverly love story from Next Generation. This time it's from season 4, episode 23, The Host.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. First of all, is this the first time we see the Trill?
If you want to call him that.
That's true. Well, because they completely changed for Deep Space Nine.
Yes, they do. But the idea of the Trill, right?
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So poor freaking Beverly. She finally gets a guy that's like pressing all her buttons and giving her like great rolls in the hay. I mean, she's just thoroughly just so happy. 2 weeks of happiness. And then all of a sudden she finds out that he's nothing more than a tummy tumor. And it's so disappointing. And she can't get over it. And then tummy tumor is transported into frickety frackin' Riker. And Riker's got this pulsating tummy tumor. And all of a sudden, they start having these awkward looks at each other of longing, like with quivering lips across the room. And it's so uncomfortable and so weird. Oh, my God. Hold on.
Hashtag
Sorry.
tummy tumor.
That's okay.
Tummy tumor. Absolutely tummy tumor. And then they have that awkward moment where they finally give in, even though it's Riker. She's willing to accept him temporarily as Odan, and they like make out, even though he's like dying with the tummy tumor. It's so awful. It just makes me uncomfortable. Just makes me thoroughly uncomfortable.
So what's the good part in all that?
The one good part, again, Bev does her best. Gates, darling, she sold it. If she's going to do it, she's going to sell it. And then that one moment when they finally, it's like they're quivering, and he's like, he comes to see her, or she comes to see him, and is like, I just wanted to check in on you and make sure everything was all right. And then they're slowly coming to each other, and both their lips are quivering. And he's like, if you're going to leave, you better leave now. And the way she says her little line before the makeout, she goes, I'm not leaving. And then they like smack. Their lips smack, and they finally get in. And you know what? That moment, I believed her. I believed it. Bev, she sold it. She was accepting the secondary tummy tumor in its shell, and she was going to make out with it, even if its face looked like Riker. So, she did a darn good job. She sold it. Again. Oh, my
God.
First, she has a sex succubus ghost, and now she's got a tummy tumor that swaps body meat gel, shells, and she just goes with it. Kudos to her.
Oh, I have no words. I don't know how to follow any of that up. That was beautiful.
I don't think I've ever cried on the podcast before.
I cry every time you open your mouth. Hashtag pulsating tummy tumor.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Dan, aside from the obvious tears we see streaming down your face, or, I see. What do you think about the host?
I'm not a fan of the host at all. I definitely am right on board with Michelle with that one. I've never liked it, especially after what we saw with the Trill in Deep Space Nine. But this was the one where Odan used to call her Dr. Beverly. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like about it. I'll say something nice about that. I like that little pet name. But oh my God, that moment with the I'm not leaving. Oh my God, that was
right?
Great,
She
Michelle.
Totally
that was awesome.
Does it. She really does.
Yeah, that is good stuff.
I think some of my favorite moments in TNG are when Riker is completely disheveled. And we get a good one in this one. He's running the fever. He's dying. He's got the slug inside him. And he's got his one shoulder up and down, like he's gonna like he's first season Riker all over again.
Yes.
And he's coming after Dr. Beverly, and you just know how it's going to end. And it's like, wow, Riker. All right, man. And he's going to retain all of those experiences. So how awkward is it the next day?
No kidding. No kidding.
Can you see the next senior staff meeting? So, guys, what's new?
I can tell you where Riker's secret dimple is. Anybody want to talk about that? New business? New business yet? No? All right.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm
All
good.
right.
Dan might know where it is, but Dan also has the next pick.
Yeah.
Buddy, what do you got for us in round 2?
I think I'm gonna go with the pick instead of the location. I appreciate you giving me the choice there, Bill.
Yeah.
I too. I'm gonna hit y'all up with a TNG episode myself here. I'm gonna go with a season 1. Season 1 of many of the series were just not great.
Nope.
Season 1, episode 7, a little ditty called "Justice."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, I'm not good with titles. Tell me what happened, and then I'll remember.
You'll like this. Let me ask you a question, Michelle. When you were younger, did you ever watch a movie with your parents and there was like a sex scene in it, and you just were like wicked uncomfortable, didn't have any idea how you're going to handle it? Well, that's probably as uncomfortable I feel watching this episode, because it's the one where the people on the planet are wearing those ridiculous silver outfits that leaves nothing to the imagination, including the guys and the gals.
They jog everywhere.
They jog.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a ship in orbit, and I mean the Edo are the name of the people on the planet. And the story is just awful. Wesley falls into some flowers, so they're gonna kill him. I mean, it's terrible. But I am gonna say something nice, and it's just one line. And it's going to be the one that Bill's going to appreciate the most. We're from Starfleet. We don't lie.
Nice.
That's all I got.
I'm with Starfleet. We don't lie. I love that quote. It is so horrible, because Wesley says it all proud and stuff, like, "Oh yeah, I'm with Starfleet. We don't lie." It's like, "You got it, Wes." Almost like one of those 40s movies, like, "Yeah, see, Jimmy, I'm with Starfleet. We don't lie." It's so bad. It's just delicious. Not good. I love it. No, Michelle, that's got to be one of your favorite episodes.
Not really. Let me see.
No?
Something nice.
No?
Something nice. Great wigs. How about that?
Oh, yeah, those wigs.
I will quote that. Yes. Yep. Okay.
I like the costume personally. I would wear. One of these years I'm going to wear that costume to STLV. No, I'm not.
Please don't.
No,
ever. No, don't. Oh my God.
I will pay you. I will pay you good money.
Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll talk offline.
All right.
So I think that brings it to my pick in this round, and I'm actually going to skip over to Star Trek Voyager. Now, I've been slowly watching Voyager because I've never finished the series. It's the only series I've never finished because I've had a hard time getting through it. And I actually watched this episode just the other day, and it's the season 4, episode 11, Concerning Flight. Now, this is one where we see more of Captain Janeway interacting with Leonardo da Vinci, played by John Rhys Davies. And in this particular episode, space pirates steal the ship's main computer and a whole bunch of other equipment, and Janeway has to try to track down the equipment with the help of Leonardo da Vinci. This is not a great episode. If I think of the pantheon of Voyager episodes, it's not top 20. I don't think for me, it's not even top 50. This episode is, it's there. It's an episode of Star Trek. However, I have to say, although it's largely forgettable and kind of silly, because the premise is a little kind of meh, I really do like the scenes with Da Vinci in this episode, and I love the chemistry between Kate Mulgrew and John Rhys Davies. They are just such pros together, and their scenes are fun. And while it's not terribly important to the episode, it really is a good watch just for those scenes alone. So I really enjoy their performances, and I really think that's the gold to mine out of this episode. Michelle, is this one that you've seen, or have you seen it recently? Or
Oh yeah, I've seen all of Voyager. I've seen basically every episode. I just need reminders on what goes on. And you're right. Totally. I love the fact that you pointed that out, because those two are exceptional actors, both of them. Yeah. So you can give them anything, and they'll make it taste like peanut butter.
Right. Ooh, so I like peanut butter.
Yeah, who doesn't? So put them, you give them any material and they're going to turn it into something yummy.
I totally agree. Dan, what do you think?
I got a question. Is this the episode? Okay, we talk about on See It or Skip It that there's always an episode in every season that I just have no recollection of. Yep. I don't have any recollection of this episode, but I'm going to ask a question. Is this the one where they actually use his flying machine? Or is that a different? Yes. It is.
No, that's the one.
I remembered something. Okay, then. that's all I got. Is that I love that scene with the flying machine. I could start singing the song from Titanic, but I won't. I got to agree with you, Bill. I love John Rhys Davies in these when he's a guest as Da Vinci. I've always liked it. I liked it even more when I realized that he was the guy who plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings, because I love those movies too. So
totally,
he's much taller in this, which is also something that I'll say something nice about. But other than that, I don't have a lot about this episode because I don't remember a lot of it. Sorry.
No, and that's okay. I mean, I had never really seen it before a couple of weeks ago. And so I was like, okay, all right, space pirates, that makes sense. Leonardo da Vinci. Wait, he's on the planet? And the whole mobile emitter comes into play. And so it's not the worst episode of Voyager by any means. It's not the worst episode it's not the worst episode of Star Trek by any means. But it's one that's kind of meh. When we get to say something nice for this one, I'll probably say something to that effect. But I'm sorry, not to say something nice, but see it or skip it. I forget what happens on my own show. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But it's just one that I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's really kind of awesome. So there we go. That's 2 rounds down, kids. We're just making quick work of all this stuff, which is awesome. That means we're back to you, Michelle, and your third pick for Say Something Nice.
Oh boy. Okay. I love DS9. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yep,
love it.
Yep.
But I was trying to disperse my selections. So I did pick one from DS9 for my third pick. Mm-hmm. And it comes from season 2, episode 10. No. Season 7, episode 4. Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Now, what I don't like about it is I totally get the rivalry between Captain and the Vulcan. I get it. Yep, but that is the most emotionally passive-aggressive Vulcan ever.
Yep.
Ever. I hate him. And I love all Vulcans. I hate him. I just don't like him. So, it's just kind of, it's cheese. It's filler. I get it. You want to get him off the ship. They never get off the ship. Let's come up with a reason to get him off the, let's get him out somewhere. Dear God, get him off somewhere, off the station. So I understand it. But it's just kind of like poop, in my opinion.
And other than that, you've no strong feelings on the matter.
No, exactly.
No.
Yeah. But do you want me to say my one thing nice? My nice thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. My favorite, it does have an absolutely exquisite moment with Worf in complete baseball regalia when called upon to throw the batter some chatter from the field. Everyone else is like, hey, batter, hey, batter, hey. He, with a complete deadpan face, standing stock straight, says, death to the opposition. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So that one moment alone is lovely. That's why I liked it. I laughed out loud.
I love it. Dan, we talked about Take Me Out to the Holosuite last year at some point. Mm-hmm. And I know you shared those similar feelings about that Vulcan captain.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I brought up specifically that he is a Vulcan, but yet the amount of emotion that he has and the disparaging comments and the insults and this and that, it really made me not appreciate the character itself. In this episode, but we actually did like Bill said, we did a whole episode on this one during the World Series when the Red Sox won their 4th championship just recently, and we love the episode. But I do very much appreciate the fact that you don't like that particular Vulcan. He's kind of a jerk face. And I guess that's the easiest way to put it. I'm not going to do my Odo impersonation when he's an umpire, even though I really want to. I'm not going to do that. That's what I say something nice about that episode. I love Odo as the umpire in this. I think he's fantastic in this. Yeah,
he really would be the best umpire ever.
This is, believe it or not, Michelle, this is the only episode of Star Trek that Dan and I have ever watched in the same room together.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. It happened just last year. We were in Albany, New York for Northeast Trek Con, and we decided to put on some, because they had Netflix on the hotel TV, we put on some Deep Space Nine. It was a World Series. So, let's watch Take Me Out to Holosuite. It was an interesting experience, and that's the nice thing I'm going to say, that it's nice to actually finally sit down and after knowing each other for 25 years, finally sit down and watch an episode together.
I'm going to say, That's disturbing. I'm not happy about that, gentlemen. Tell me you've rectified that since then. Have you watched Trek together since then?
I don't think so.
No.
Boys, why not?
It's my fault.
No, well, I mean, for 25 years we haven't. So, I mean, that was the one outlier. It just tells us that we need to do it more.
Yes. How about the three of us do it when we're in Vegas at STLD this year?
I love
a
it.
Good idea.
Okay.
I love that
Cool.
idea.
I feel an episode commentary in our futures.
Oh, heck yes. I'm on board. Whatever you want to talk
I
about.
love it. So, that's Dan's pick now, I guess, right? Because that was Michelle's pick. So
did you have anything to say about Take Me Out to the Halls, Weeville? Or
I did. I said I got to watch it with you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Okay. Anyway,
what
exactly? It's funny you picked a DS9 episode, Michelle, and I am about to pick a DS9 episode, which is incredibly interesting because I love Deep Space Nine. It's my favorite series, and I love the Mirror Universe. But guess what? I'm picking a Mirror Universe episode to crap on. It's season 6, episode 8, Resurrection. Oh, this is. I
hate that episode with a passion.
This is the Jaws 4 of the episode. It is the Phantom Menace of these episodes. Anyone who listens to Trek Geeks knows how much I hate Bareil. Can't stand him. Waste of a character. No idea what Kara saw in him. Just can't stand the guy. I did not think I could dislike a character more than I dislike Bareil. But then we met his Mirror Universe counterpart, and I was proven wrong because I couldn't stand him even more. He is so awful. And I can understand why watching this episode made people get tired of Mirror Universe episodes. After all, what's the point if you're going to get something like this obtuse piece of flotsam? Huh? Do you like that?
Nice reference.
Nice. Very nice.
I will say something nice. It may not be much, but I'll say it. It's Deep Space Nine.
Yep.
And it's the Mirror Universe.
Yep.
And if it's for those of you that hate him like I do, it's the last time we ever see Vedic Bareil. So yay.
Oh my gosh.
That is such a passive aggressive cop out. I love it.
No kidding.
Oh.
Really, that's the only nice thing you could come up with? That's
pretty
it?
much. Michelle, I got a question. Do you like Bareil? Because I wasn't sure of your response when I said it.
He's okay. He didn't stand out to me as being either particularly wonderful or particularly awful.
Okay, I don't know who you are anymore.
I've always found Bareil just to be so milquetoast. I mean, I expect Kira to be with somebody robust and full of life.
Exactly.
And Bareil is just sort of withdrawn.
Well, what about the episode where he's about to die and he's even worse? He's like, I love you, Kira.
Okay. I'm kind of, you're turning me to the dark Bareil. I'm going with these reminders.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of something nice about that episode. I will say Nana is particularly fantastic in that episode. I mean,
she's good in everything.
Well, she is, but I mean, Kira has, quite the quandary there to use a couple of cues, in that she has to see a version of the man she loves again, and she buys into it. So I mean, that's really kind of challenging for her character, and I get why. So I mean, I can appreciate that aspect of it, even if it's not executed nearly as well. But yeah, I hate Bareil.
Good.
Hate him.
All right.
Good.
He sucks. So this is me. It's my turn.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody.
Well, to use a baseball metaphor, I'm going to hit for the cycle here, and I also am going to pick Deep Space Nine.
Whoa.
For my third pick. And I'm going to pick the season 3 episode Meridian, which is the 8th episode of that season. So the crew comes across this planet that phases in and out of dimensions once every 60 years.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah. And Dax meets somebody and falls in love in 43 minutes.
Yes,
yeah. This is not a fantastic episode.
No.
The A story isn't great. The B story is truly terrible. And
yes! Thank you! Oh my God, yes!
It's even though it's got Jeffrey Combs, the B story is absolutely putrid. But I'm going to say something nice about this, because even though this episode is a total dog, Terry Farrell gets some of the most interesting stuff that she gets to do in the early seasons of Deep Space Nine in Meridian. That sort of end scene where she breaks down when she's alone is just so well acted. You cannot help but feel for Dax. Terry really acts the hell out of that teaser scene at the end. But and like I said, Jeffrey Combs is great, even though the story he's in sucks, creating the hologram of Kira.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, gross.
So they're two. Oh my God, I say that about Dan every day. So yeah, you've got two great performances by two wonderful actors surrounded by an interdimensional planet of crap.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
well put.
Thank you. That's am I wrong? Is that really the only good thing to find in those episodes, Michelle and Dan?
Yeah. From my point of view, yes. I'm sorry that especially you're right. Yeah. I'll go with that because the B episode just overwhelms me with grossness.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think?
Jeffrey Combs is masterful in everything that he does. I think I've talked about the fact that he's one of my favorite guest appearance people in Deep Space Nine. When the whole scene where he walks in with the nice, satin, whatever they're called, over the bed, and you see these legs, Kira and her hips, and then it's Quark. That falls so flat. It is so unfunny. It is so... Everybody knew it was going to be something ridiculous, and it just doesn't work on every level. And I got to say also, the whole... When Dax is being pulled between dimensions, that whole scene just kind of... The special effects in this episode were not great. No. And that scene, it really stands out. But I do appreciate what you said. That end scene, Bill, with Terry Farrell in her quarters, that is a tearjerker moment in Deep Space Nine, and that is also something that I will say something nice about. She's great in that final scene, especially. Yeah.
And I like you mentioned Jeffrey Combs because you're right. Anything he ever does is he's just wonderful to watch. And I got to shoot him. I shot him in Star Trek Online. My role in Star Trek Online, Loris.
Oh, neat.
I shoot him.
So not really then. Phew.
In the Victoria's Life release, not in real life. But
that's awesome.
I did shoot him. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's very cool.
That's awesome. So here we are to round 4. So Michelle, we're back to you. You get to name. This is your penultimate pick. And say something nice. What you got for us?
Do we have 4 picks or 5 picks?
5.
5. Okay, good. Okay, so I have 2 more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am moving on to Voyager.
Oh, I love it.
And I don't know. You know what? I might have gotten this idea if you guys talked about it on previous shows because everything just blends together in my mind like a wonderful frappe. But this is season 6, episode 11, Fairhaven.
Oh yeah!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Because they just are going to get trapped by a space storm. It's a hurricane. They're riding out a space hurricane in space. Why not? So let's just take a break and let's everybody just go hang out on one holodeck program together. And let's make it just the most blatant Irish caricatures we possibly can. And I mean, it is, I am surprised they did not find a way to insert the word potato into every frickin' sentence by those characters. Those holosuite Irish characters are just, I weep, I apologize for everyone in Galway who watched that. I apologize, everyone in County Cork. I'm so sorry. We don't know what we're doing. They know not what they do. They know not what they do. So it's just, basically it's, Janeway starts having this ethical quandary about the fact that she programs her perfect dude and then doesn't like the fact that she's programmed her perfect dude and feels bad about it kind of. And it's just pedantic and there's it's so majorly eye roll worthy. And it's kind of a ripoff of what's that episode in Next Gen with Geordi and Leah Brahms? What's that?
Galaxy's Child?
No. Booby Trap. Is that right?
Booby.
Is that right?
Oh, it's the holodeck Leah Brahms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? I might be wrong.
I think so.
But anyway, so they've kind of done this. It feels like a rehashing of that kind of idea where you fall in love with the holodeck. character. Anyway,
we're both Googling
are
it is.
you
You've got the right episode.
It?
It's Booby Trap.
Oh my God, I remembered an episode name. That's amazing.
And Galaxy's Child.
Yeah, probably because it had the word booby in it. So, which is just it's a nice name for an episode about a love conundrum, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
I never thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah, booby trap. Because it really is a trap of the boobies.
So something nice about Fairhaven.
Oh, so something nice. Okay. So while watching this, I realized because I watched it as an adolescent, basically, it was really nice to kind of introduce the idea to a young adolescent girl, the prospect of being able to like hand pick all the qualities you want in your ideal guy. Because at that age, you are always just trying to conform into what boys want. Like, you're like, I just like him so much. I just want him to like me. What does he like? I'm going to be that. So the idea of just having that, what if I could build my own? It's like a girl teenage version of Weird Science. Like, I'm going to build my perfect dude. What would it be? And just introducing that idea was just really neat.
Nice.
As a young person. How about that?
I like it. Dan, what about, there's no feet washing going on in this episode like TNG's up the long ladder. So what do you think about Fairhaven?
There's no feet washing going on, but Katie O'Clair took that Michael Sullivan and built the perfect man, didn't she? Potato. Sorry, I had to throw it in for you there. Sorry.
Potatoes, O'Brien.
Thank you.
This is not one that I really can say much niceness about. It's just, you know how we talk about how Code of Honor is just a horrible and blatantly bad episode depicting certain things. This one's kind of the same thing for me. It's just awful. Yeah. It just takes all of those things that, you know, I'm surprised that they weren't eating Lucky Charms at breakfast. I mean, it's just one of those ridiculous things and ridiculous episodes. And yeah, I like how you put it, the space hurricane. Let's just, we're just going to throw the anchor out here, gone against this asteroid and just ride out the storm. Yeah, not good. But I don't know. They have nice accents. I just don't have anything.
No, they don't, though.
They really don't.
This is actually one I haven't seen. So I actually get to watch this at some point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, but I am going to try to find something nice in it when I watch it. And I'm getting the sense from the two of you that could be tough. Should I have like an Up the Long Ladder / Fairhaven like double feature?
Oh, God.
Yes.
On a day you want to feel particularly bad about yourself. Absolutely.
Oh, no, I would watch it on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, gosh.
Very nice. I will tell you, Bill, the wardrobe in this episode, you're not going to find a fine halter top like you would in Up the Long Ladder.
Oh,
that's true.
My.
Yeah,
that is
so just want to let you know about that.
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, I guess since I have nothing to add, Dan, why don't we move on to your next pick in the round, and round 4?
Sure.
I'm sure you're going to regale us with something that is equally as turditudinal.
Wow. Hashtag that one. Give yourself a hashtag there, man.
Thank you.
I can't even repeat it because I don't even... Turditudinal. Okay. This one is not as bad, I don't think, but it's still not great. We're sticking with Voyager. Look at this. We're all picking the same series each time. I'm going to go with Voyager, and I'm going to go with Season 2, Episode 1. The season premiere of Season 2, The 37s. And this is the Amelia Earhart episode, just to put it in a quick wraparound. One of my biggest complaints about Voyager back in the day, and I don't have this strongest sentiment now because I've had a rewatch of it, was that the writing could be terrible. The cast always tried to do a great job with what they were given, but a lot of times they had a story that the writers were like, oh my God, we got to wrap this up in 5 minutes, and it just killed the episode. This was the season premiere of Season 2. The freaking season premiere of Season 2, and this is what we got. You're going to give this dreck for a season premiere? It was awful. The story's awful. The acting's awful. I can't stand David Graff as Fred Noonan in this episode, and I like some of the things he's done in other movies. I didn't even like Sharon Lawrence as Amelia Earhart in this episode. I just didn't think the story worked, and I just thought it was garbage. I'm sorry. But You know what this episode's called, Bill and Michelle? I can see you both there. And say something nice.
It is.
The first ever image of a starship actually landing on a planet with little feet was pretty cool, no matter how preposterous or unnecessary it may have been. It was still kind of cool to see. So I'm going to go with that. That's all I got.
Okay, I'll buy that. Personally, I mean, if I'm going to try to find something nice in this, I'm going to say that thanks to Elon Musk, this episode seems a little more believable because finding a pickup truck in space might actually happen now.
That's
Sure.
right.
You know,
Absolutely,
so
yep.
that's my nice thing. Michelle, you have anything nice to say about the 37s?
Yeah, I got nothing. I'll go with the feet. I second the feet.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right, then I'm just going to move on to my fourth round pick. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to mirror you two and pick Voyager. I'm actually going to step outside the box a little bit and pick a movie.
Ooh.
You know, that's kind of how I roll. As a movie, baby. Yeah.
I bet I know which one.
I bet you do too. And I got to say, it's Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. I see. I don't think this is the worst Star Trek movie by any means, but it's certainly not great. I'll be honest. This movie is terrible. People talk about how the scenes between the big three, you know, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, are fantastic, but to me, they're just not. Those scenes are overly campy and just painfully written because they take characters that have gone from a television series through some pretty dramatic stuff in the movies and then essentially step them all the way back to 1969 in their development. So we get it. The movie's not great. However, if I'm going to say something nice about this, I'm going to say DeForest Kelley is truly fantastic in this movie. He gets the best scenes he's ever gotten in the whole of Star Trek. I mean, that counts original series, that counts the movies, everything, and he just shines. That scene with McCoy's father, where he has to reveal his pain to Sybok, is thoroughly gut-wrenching. And D. Kelly puts it all out on the screen, and you feel it as it's happening. It's the best performance in the film. It's the best performance he gets to do in Star Trek, and I'm glad that scene exists, even if it's in that movie. That's my say something nice. Michelle, what do you got?
Oh, geez.
Is that one you like?
It's not my favorite by any means,
Okay.
but I mean, you get to see Uhura's fan dance, you know?
You do? You do. Now, see, at that time, Uhura and my mom were roughly the same age. So it was kind of hard for me to get into Uhura's fan dance, but I totally get where you're going with that.
The woman's got fabulous legs. It's never a
does.
bad day.
Yeah.
Never a bad
that's true.
day.
That's true.
That's true.
Dan, what do you have nice to say about Star Trek V?
You know what's funny, Bill? You brought up a very good point, and they're overly campy scenes. But you know which with the big three? You know which scene I think is overly campy? The campfire scene. Get it?
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that was bad. I'm very sorry.
Marshmallows. Yeah.
Yeah, marshmallows. Yes. I like the. This is the only thing I'm going to think of for say something nice because I haven't really thought about it until just now. I like the cinematography when he's climbing the mountain at the beginning. It's pretty.
Yeah.
There you
beautiful
go.
shots of El Capitan. Yeah.
Then he falls, and the whole Spock chasing him thing is just pathetic.
Jeez. Jeez.
Let's dive down and look like we're diving. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, there you go.
And how many decks does a starship have? 75?
47.
No? Not according to that movie.
Yeah.
They seem to forget that the bridge is deck 1. Yeah.
No.
So anyway, that's my fourth round pick. Here we are, the last round of this installment of Say Something Nice. I hope you're all bringing your A game this round because I'm gonna drop a bomb on you with my pick later on. No pressure, Michelle.
Oh, jeez, I love pressure. Okay, I'm sticking with my Voyager. We're gonna stay with Voyager, and I'm going with season 5, episode 18, The Fight.
Oh
wow! Now that is a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like another Night Terrors, and yet instead of using telepathic to communicate with the alien present life forms. This time we're going to pull out Chakotay's rarely mentioned but always pleasantly exploited Native American heritage. And he's going to commune with these aliens in his vision quests. And, what's the higher plane of understanding that's reached in these vision quests to communicate with the aliens in these 1-900 calls, whatever you want to call them? It's a boxing. It's boxing. It's a boxing scene. What? How? I don't understand. I don't understand why those are the subject of his vision quests. I don't get it. So yeah, there's the dream sequences where he's like looking and he sees like different characters coming through the doors. We're all depending upon you, Chakotay. Like it's just, it's awful and it's confusing and I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it.
So I can't wait to hear what the nice element is in all of this, because this is going to be fascinating.
Well, the only one nice thing is that Boothby's in it, even though it's completely inexplicable that Boothby's in it. Why is the Academy Gardener his coach in his vision quest? I don't know, but he is lovely. He's always wonderful. And his performance is like, he makes that seem somewhat make sense because he's wonderful. So that's the one nice thing I can say.
The legendary Ray Walston. He is so fabulous as Boothby. Is that the last time we see Boothby?
It is. It is his last.
Wow.
I think it's one of his last jobs as an actor before he passed away. Was that?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So it's good that we get the one more shot of Boothby. But okay, so admittedly, I've said I haven't watched all of Voyager. Is boxing a thing in the later seasons, or is just because this come out of nowhere? Okay,
it just comes out of nowhere.
Nowhere. The only thing that I can really say nice about this, and it's going to echo what Michelle said, is we get to see Ray as Boothby one time giving us his best Mick from the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Hit him as hard as you can, Chakotay. It's just awesome.
It's so bizarre.
It's so dumb.
Now all I can see is Burgess Meredith, yelling at Robert Beltran. That might be worth it for the price of admission alone. That would be fantastic. I'm going to say. This is another one I have nothing to add to because this is another one I haven't seen. I'm almost done with season 4 right now of Voyager, and I'll get to this one, season 5. So coming up pretty soon, but can't wait.
Oh yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the commute the next morning when you get to tell me what you thought about it.
Oh my god! Hey, that's going to be. We should roll the cameras for that one. Make that a carpool conversation.
Yes,
I think so. Yep.
So Dan, clearly Michelle brought her A game for the last round. I hope that you are going to drop something as momentous on us.
You know what? I think I am. I really do. This is maybe surprise some people. I'm going TOS. I'm bringing in TOS. So I think I hit every series except for Discovery, which there's nothing bad about Discovery. But I'm going with TOS. I'm going with season 3, episode 17, That Which Survives.
Oh,
and I saw Bill just like almost pass out. We all know that season 3 suffered from budget cuts, and it was apparent that the show was not going to survive. But I never understood why the writing had to suffer in several episodes of season 3, and I think this was one of them. There were so many lazy points to this story that really just grind my gears, to quote Peter Griffin.
Remind me which one is this?
This is the one with Lee Merriweather as when she touches you, you die. Cellular disruption. Yeah.
Yes.
So Lucira, when they're on the planet, is asked by Kirk, "Who have you come for this time?" And her response is, "I have come for you, James T. Kirk." Hey, former Circle. Now, here's my problem with this. You would think that the Kalandans would have written in a deception subroutine into Lucira, so she could have just simply said, "I have come for you, McCoy." And when they form a circle around McCoy, she walks up and goes, "Ha ha, Kirk is dead." End of episode. That would have been the way to do it if I were the programmer on Kalanda, but I digress. The other thing that bothers me about this episode is form a circle. Have you ever watched football? Have you ever tried to juke? Have you ever tried to push past something instead of just walking up and stretching your hand out? try harder, Lucira. Try harder. But I'm going to say something nice, and I don't want to sound like a pig, but I'm going to say something nice. And oh my God, Lee Merriweather in that outfit. As a kid growing up watching TOS, she was an absolute thing of beauty, and she still is when I see her in that episode. She is absolutely gorgeous, and I love seeing her in that episode. And even though we saw this as a result of the cut budget, her transporter effect where she squishes up horizontally and then vertically with the is just awesome. It's just one of the best transporters in the TOS genre. So that's what I got. That's all I got.
Wow.
A game?
Yeah, that's some definite A game. You brought it and then some. I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud
Thanks,
of you.
pal. I try hard.
I am for you, Dan Davidson. You can't see me, but I'm trying to touch the screen. I have to agree with you on Lee Merriweather. I've always loved Lee Merriweather. She's really great in this episode, but I mean, her career is just a fantastic one. I have to agree with you all across the board. Michelle, what do you think about That Which Survives?
Honestly, I don't remember that much about it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, because Dan doesn't remember a lot of episodes, so I get it.
Right. I will say this, and I'm sure if I'm remembering this as I believe I am, the female guest star costumes were always amazing. Yes. So her dress, you know what I mean? It's amazing. Yep. She looked beautiful. You're right.
Well, I can't disagree with any of that. Now we're at the final pick of Say Something Nice, which is mine. And I said earlier that I was just going to bring my A game and drop a bomb on y'all, and that's about what I'm ready to do. I'm going to bring it back to Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a season 1 episode.
Oh, boy.
The 10th episode of season 1.
Oh, boy.
A little charmer called Code of Honor.
Oh, remind me.
Which we've referenced once before. It's the racist episode with the planet of African-American people who steal Lieutenant Yar.
Oh, God. Yeah.
The one that Frakes typically refers to as a racist piece of bleep.
Oh, yeah. I'm throwing up a little in my mouth.
Yeah, as well you should. I don't think I really need to explain to anybody why this episode is terrible. It really is. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. Let's get it off the table. But I'm going to say something really nice about this episode. And I realize that's a tall order, but here we go. This episode has a fantastic score, and it's probably one of the best scores of season 1. The music in Code of Honor does a really good job complementing what's happening on the screen, and that's because it's written by Fred Steiner. Fred Steiner, who is the only composer from the original series to have worked on The Next Generation. I can only think that, if he had done more of them, I might have the same feeling about some of those early episodes. But he just knocks this score out of the park, and it's so nice to see that familiar name. And his work here is just top notch. So that is the one shining element I can find in Code of Honor. Dan, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before. It is such a horrible episode, but it does give us no vaccine and no Lieutenant Yar. So how can it not be bad? It is. And I will say the weapon that she wears when she's fighting the other person is kind of really scary. It's got the poison tips and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So I would like to use that on you from time to time, but I digress. I will say that not a good episode, and probably as Jonathan Frakes likes to say, it's not one that's probably liked by the cats too much. Michelle, what do you think?
I have to admit I don't remember the score, probably because I had my eyes closed and hands over my ears going la 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 during the whole thing. So perhaps I need to go back and just turn off the dialogue track and just listen to the music. Maybe I'll have something nice to say about it. I would assume so.
I think so. I think the visuals are worse than if you just listen to the dialogue. Mission Log sort of posited that theory back when they did Code of Honor a few years ago. If you just listen to the episode, it really doesn't seem half as bad as watching it because the visuals really are quite terrible.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think you might get a better sense of the score if you listen to it. But Fred Steiner really shines in this episode, and it really is the one great element to me. So that's what I got for Say Something Nice. Did I deliver? I ask you both.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Michelle. Dan, you can just go to hell.
Awesome job.
Yeah.
No, you did great, man.
Dan!
You delivered. Probably. Oh, there it was. I've been waiting all episode for that.
You knew it had to come. I'm going to deliver it at the end.
As we've established on a previous episode of Trek Geeks, everything is Dan's fault, according to Michelle.
Everything.
And when something is Dan's fault, Michelle has the right to scream Dan as she.
Dan!
That's
there it is.
That's going to be my ringtone. So so that's it. So we made it through 5 rounds of saying something nice. Don't you guys feel better about these episodes a little bit?
I do feel. Yes, I do. No,
I feel better just because I was talking about them with you, and I love you both so much.
That is returned 150 million% to you. We love you so much. You're one of our dearest friends on the planet, and we are so grateful to have you back. It's something we need to do more often because it's never dull with you, Michelle.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about more of the sex succubus, 800-year-old Scottish sex succubus ghost.
Yeah. Dan, you were going to say?
It is never dull, Michelle. It's amazing that it has been 4 long years in between visits. We've, of course, spent time at STLV, and like Bill said, you are one of our most favorite people in the entire world. We have got to do this more often. We cannot wait to see you again out in the desert this coming summer. Love you to death. Always a great time. You always make us laugh, and you always make all of your fans smile. And we just can't say enough good things about you, girl.
Well, I am honored, literally honored to be here with you guys. And I hope I kept up the quality of the show by trying to bring a little bit of your level of Trek knowledge, because it's humbling. It's humbling to be here with you, gentlemen. Humbling. And I'm just so proud I didn't cuss. Woohoo!
See, most people say it's humiliating to be here with us. Thank you for choosing a different age word. Michelle, where can people find you online or maybe find out more about some of the things that you've done over these years?
Well, believe it or not, I actually claim my name on the internet. So I'm just I'm Michele Specht everywhere on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And I have a website that's michelespecht.com. And I'm going to be in Miami in March, I think it is. And then I have a couple other conventions that I'll be putting up there soon too. So yeah, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big sci-fi nerd in general, but especially a Trek nerd. So if anyone wants to just come and like geek out with someone who's weirder than they are, then come find me. Come find me, my people, and we will geek it up together. I love you guys. I'm so excited and so happy I got to be here with you. I love and miss you very much.
Dan, we also have to thank the 5 guys in the band, 5-Year Mission. We are so grateful to them each and every week for all the music you hear on Trek Geeks. We love those guys so much. They are such a wonderful band. They are writing one original song for every episode of the original Star Trek series. And this is stuff that it doesn't make fun of Star Trek. It enhances these episodes in a way that perhaps people didn't think possible. So please, head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all their albums, become a huge fan, because we love these guys so much, Dan.
Year 1, year 2, year 3, and the recently released year 4, along with Spock's Brain and the Trouble with Tribbles albums. They are all great. You're going to love them all. There's some videos out there you can check out. All good stuff. But I got to say, Bill, it's really ironic that the lovely and talented Michelle joined us this week, because I was actually watching Star Trek Continues recently. And you know that I love Star Trek Continues. STC is just awesome.
Totally.
One of the things that I love so much about this show is that it was important for every member of the Enterprise to have someone to turn to when they had a strong feeling about a recent away mission, or if they had a new track on an album that they really liked, or maybe if they had romantic feelings about a drummer. They needed someone to talk to on the Enterprise. And thank goodness Starfleet started having counselors on the ship. And I can only imagine how wonderful it was for the people of the NCC 1701 to have the wonderful and lovely Dr. Andis Farkena on the ship to help them with any counseling problems. It really is great that he was there.
Are you even trying? What the hell was that?
Andy's Farkenna. Yeah.
Andy's Farkenna?
Hey, I just call it like I see it, man. I can't.
What?
Forgive yourself.
I hope you get caught in a transport buffer. And nobody can hear your voice, because that's the ideal outcome now of any episode of Trek Geeks.
Okay. No, keep that in mind.
That was one of your worst ones yet.
That's too bad, because I think last week's was one of my better ones. So oh well.
The spoiler alert: they're all worse. We had somebody ask us this week, "Are you guys ever going to do a supercut of all the Farkisms?" I'm like, no, oh god,
that would be the heaven in my ears.
That'd be hell in my life. So that's 5yearmission.net. Dan's terrible Farkism aside, please go download all our albums. And Fark, I'm sorry. Dan, we want to thank our Patreon supporters. I can't even say the words because I'm so thrown off by Farkenna this week. But we want to thank our Patreon supporters this week. The people who subscribe to the bonus content we have at patreon.com/trekgeeks. We're so thankful and grateful for their support each and every week. Dan, if you want to run through the list of associate producers and tell us who we have on board this week.
Absolutely. We want to thank our associate producers, Shane Murray, Yancey Evans, Vikram Bhatt, John Krikorian, Peter Craig, Adam Sanders, the wonderful Trey Womack, Sean Lynn, Brandon Everidge, Tim Sardar, I hope I got that one right, and Heather Sohn. Can't thank you guys enough for being our associate producers. And Bill, I think you have the list of this week's producers for Trek Geeks.
I do. The producers for this week's episode of Trek Geeks are Ken Tripp, Casey Shafsky, Jackie and Chris Hackney, Leonel Marchand, Craig Ewing, Sean O'Halloran, Chris Trabuzio, Eric Extreme, Norman Lau, Mike Bovia, and Patrick Escudero. Again, if you want to support Trek Geeks and catch out some of the bonus content we have out there, it's patreon.com/trekgeeks. Dan, next week, you may recall time immemorial ago, we met a wonderful young lady and her dad this past October at Northeast TrekCon. Her dad, who is now one of the producers of this show. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about her favorite Voyager episode next week.
Yeah, that really was one of the best moments of Northeast TrekCon. Bill and I were absolutely honored to meet Emily and her dad, Mike, at the convention. She was just starting to listen to the podcast as they were driving up to Albany, New York, and she was really enjoying it. So we gave her a homework assignment. We asked her to pick her favorite Voyager episode and then leave us a message using SpeakPipe, which we talked about earlier today, and tell us why it's her favorite episode of Voyager. Then we would dedicate an entire episode on it. So next week, we're going to play Emily's voicemail about this episode and then deep dive into the 2-part thriller, The Killing Game. Yes, Klingons, Nazis, and Hirogen. Oh my. Next week on Trek Geeks, the flagship podcast of the Trek Geeks Network.
Wow, we're a flagship now. That's pretty awesome.
I can wave my flag.
In fact, Emily and her dad, Mike, also now have a podcast of their own called Legacy Trek.
Check it out.
Yeah, we hope everybody checks it out. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week. But I'm looking forward to this because I don't think I've seen The Killing Game yet. So
I think you're
going to be great for me.
Nice. Yeah.
So, of course, if you're looking for more great Star Trek discussion, we want everyone to check out the Tricorder Transmissions Network online at thetricordertransmissions.com. And, of course, for all the news on all the Star Trek show, please visit our great friends at treknews.net. For now, this has been episode 168 of the Trek Geeks podcast. We do hope you all live long and prosper.
No coconut and no Lieutenant Yah.
I'm okay with both of those, though.
Wow.
Music for Trek Geeks is provided by 5 Year Mission. They are writing one song for each episode of the original series. Download their music at 5yearmission.net. Trek Geeks, a Star Trek podcast, is a production of Coconut Media Works, executive producer Bill Smith. For even more Star Trek discussion, check out Discovering Trek, a Star Trek Discovery companion, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and discoveringtrek.com.
Bing bong.
I would ask you not to use that tone, sir, and I would thank you very much to think of that next time as well.
Oh, then bing bong.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up, buddy? I'm excited.
Why would you not be?
I know.
Because this is going to be fantastic.
Oh my God. I just cannot even. We've been trying to get this all situated for a while now, and it's finally coming into play, and it's not going to be dull. I have a feeling.
Dull and Michelle are not words that I would put in the same sentence.
No, not at all.
I have a feeling that she doesn't just run on like an Energizer battery. She runs on like a nuclear powered cell.
Wow. That's some strong stuff.
She is. I don't know anybody with more energy.
Energy, yeah.
Than she has, and it's infectious.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. It makes you smile because she's just such a nice person. Oh
Your
God,
face
don't
is
smile
infectious.
that doesn't sound good.
Well, take
That
it.
Yeah. So you are 3 episodes into The Office, is that right?
3. I watched the 3rd episode last night with the bride. Yeah.
We actually are in the midst of the series finale.
I like the show. It's so frustrating. I want to punch Steve Carell's character in the face over and over again.
But Michael is dumb, but he is so good-hearted.
He's good-hearted, but God, he's so aggravating. It was the one where he was promising the surprise, and he's like, yeah, drum roll. It's like, dude. And everybody in that office looks so depressed to have to work there.
It's like having to work with you.
I knew I should. You love working with me, and you know it.
It's the second time in my career I've done so, and I can't believe I did this to myself.
But you missed it after the first time. You missed it so much. You're the one who made it happen. Dan, come work here. It's great.
Like I said, I need a job. I need to get out of Maine. I'm tired of being a Mainer.
That was never a Mainer.
Apparently you were.
Van Sitters was hysterical this weekend with the tweets with Maine. Thanks a lot.
I had nothing to do with it. He's the one who brought up Maine lobster.
Yeah, and then you brought up Mainer, so I don't like you.
You never liked me. I don't care. I don't care. Shut your face.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
You looking forward to tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
The foot of snow we're going to get starting in the afternoon.
I had no idea. I have not looked at weather in 5 days.
Yeah, 6 to 10 starting. The evening commute tomorrow is going to be horrible, by the way.
Well, it kind of stinks, but then again, it's the second week of February, and we have no snow on the ground, so I really can't complain too much.
You could.
Well, then I'd be complaining about you, and I just, why beat a horse when he's down? So.
Wow, why do you want to beat horses? This is not a good look. We just became a podcast network. You realize we're going to shed listeners if you're out there beating horses? God, the ASPCA is going to be involved and law enforcement. And dude, why can't you just love horses?
I love all animals, and you know that. All animals, love them. I have trouble killing bugs. No, I don't. I don't like bugs.
No, you really don't. No.
I don't like bugs. No. But, my God, I would swerve out of the way and hit a telephone pole to miss a squirrel.
I'm going to start raising squirrels.
They're so cute. They're so cute.
They're rodents.
You know what are cute? Are raccoons.
So why are you going for the ones that are destructive or rabid? I saw an eagle.
That was for Matt.
Why are you going for the ones that are either destructive or rabid?
We were watching.
This tells me something about you.
We were watching Northwood's Law last week at some point, which takes place. It's one of those reality. It's not a reality show, but it's one of those shows where they have cameras with fish and game people in real life, and it takes place in Maine or New Hampshire, and they just go about their business and doing their patrols and everything. And a lot of times they have to rescue animals and stuff like that. And this one guy got called to a house, and there were 4 baby raccoons that a woman had put in a box because its mother had run off or something like that. So these 4 little baby raccoons, and they were so cute with their little hands and their little raccoon thumbs, just making them, and they were sitting there squeaking. They were like, eep, 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 eep. And Aria, who was on the couch, was sleeping, perked her head up and was looking at the TV doing this.
That makes for great podcasting. You'd probably have to describe that.
I was going to describe it after I did it. Thanks a lot. Basically, you know how the dogs have that tilt-a-head motion? She just kept doing that, looking at the TV, which is up above the mantle. So she wasn't just staring straight ahead. She was looking up at the TV at the squeaky raccoon little baby hand thumbs.
So could you make that raccoon noise again?
That's not what that sounded like.
Because I'm here to spoil something for you big time. They don't sound like they do in Disney movies, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they talk in Disney movies.
That's you're just making my point for me at this juncture.
Wait a minute. Well, I don't. Huh?
What are you drinking?
Oh, now glad that you asked. I got something new here. Let me put it up to the camera, and I will describe it before you start giving me a hard time, jerk. It is a Mike. You know, I love the Mikes. The Mike's hard lemonades. Love them.
Love Mike, all right.
I'll always try the new flavor to Mike's. This one is a hard pineapple mandarin.
Good. So, does it taste kind of like a Dole Whip without the ice cream?
Yes.
Nice.
That is actually, I could see this instead of the pineapple juice in the Dole Whip cup. Just pour some of this stuff and have a hard Dole Whip.
So what you're saying is we're making hard Dole Whips this weekend.
I like that idea. I'm going to mute my. I'm going to mute my watch.
I think that's Barry, the official third Trek geek.
It is
messaging us. Yeah,
it was good old Barry, the Care Bear.
The Care Bear.
He's the Care Bear. JLP Live.
The Care Bear. That's JLP Live. I'm psyched.
Oh my God,
psyched for that show. It's going to
be.
The
reaction's been awesome too. So very excited.
We should probably mention that during Trek Geeks.
Yeah, we got our own show to worry about. That's his problem.
Screw him and Canada.
That's right. He's probably not going to have internet that day anyway.
They have internet in Canada?
I don't know. They got it like one of those little rodents winning a wheel with this
like a squirrel?
Like a squirrel and his little hands and raccoon thumbs.
Did you get bitten by a raccoon? Are you rabid right now? Do we need to get you
rabid for you, handsome
immunizations?
No, I'm good. I'm in a good mood. What can I say? It's all going to be coming through in the podcast when she gets on. So I might as well get it out of my system.
It's because you're drunk.
I'm not drunk yet.
No, it's always the drunks that say they're not drunk.
Yeah.
You ready there, Slappy?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
All right. Coconut.